So we got lost somewhere. So when we prepare the statement of cost, we check the element of cost, then total cost, then units, then cost per unit. Remember, you have our units here. So this one, so 27,600, 27,600 for inputs, for material, 26,800, 2600 for labor, 26 for 60. Then also 26 for 60 for overhead. Now, if you want to compute normal loss, so normal loss goes hand in hand with the scrap per unit. Now, our normal loss units, it is 3,000 units. So, what is the cost per unit? So, let's go to the cost per unit for normal loss. The last item, information number 7, 10 shillings. So, 10. So, meaning this 30,000. Also, abnormal loss amount. So we have it here, 600. So 600 goes with the cost per unit. Now we need to compute cost per unit actually now. So before we compute out the abnormal loss, so we need to compute cost per unit for each. So let's start with the inputs. Now inputs, let's go to our equation for inputs. Now if I go to the inputs, I can see we have inputs. Which process are we preparing first? We need to check the process that we are preparing. Now we are preparing process 2. Now meaning what comes from process 1 is the input. So what are the transfers from process 1? 306,600. So you pick 306. It is 306 or what? 306,000. But don't forget to less the normal loss. So 306,000 minus 30,000. 276,000. So that will be 276,000 divided by 27,600. 10. So the process is a bit different from average cost method. Let's go to material. For material, is material. We have 134,400 material somewhere. 134,400. 134,400. So 134,400 divided by 26,800, which is 5. Then we have labor. 394,200. 394,200. Then we have overhead. 525,600. 525,600. So 394,200 divided by 26 for 60. So 14.89. So that is 14.9. Then 525,600 divided by 26 for 60. 19.9. So let us add 10 plus 5 plus 14.9 plus 19.9. It will be 49.8. So now we can compute abnormal gain. Abnormal gain. So tunasema 600 times 10. Then 600 also. So 600 ya pili material, 600 times 5. And then for 20 times 14.9. Then for 20 times 19.9. So itakuwa ngapi? 600 times 10 600 times 10 plus 600 times 5 plus 420 times 14.9 plus 420 times 19.9. I'm getting 23,616. 23,616. 23,616. What else are we remaining with that point? Everyone is fine. Normal loss we have computed. Let's compute closing work in progress. Closing work in progress. So allow me to have this part. User need closing work in progress. Work in progress. So where is it? Here. You have 5400 times 10 cost per unit, which is 10. Then you have 3240. 3240 times 5. Then 2160 times 14.9. Then 2160 also. 2160 times 19.9. So let us see. 5400 times 10 plus 3240 times 5. 2160 times 14.9. Then 2160 times 19.9. Napata 145,368. Now we are dealing with one part, that is the output. How to compute output, then we prepare our process account. So allow me to prepare it where? Output. I think you can prepare it here. Output. Let me give you the format for output. Output. Start with the opening work in progress. Opening work in progress. The amount, which is in information number 1, which is 165,000. Then you add cost of current period. Cost of current period. So current period, so ndio hii hapa current period. This one. So 0. This one 0 times 10. 1440 times 5. Then 1920 times 14.9 plus 1920 times 19.9. I think I will push it a bit here. How much will that be? Compute. So itakuwa ngapi? So 0 times 10 plus 1440 times 5 plus 1920 times 14.9, then 1920 times 19.9. So mimi napata 74016. 74016. Then we also add cost of completed units. So we add cost of completed units. So we also add cost of completed units, but remember to less. So under the cost, don't forget to less the loss. So even completed units here in 27,600. Not loss. Don't forget to less, not loss. Don't forget to less what? This one. Opening work in progress. This 4,800. So don't forget to less 4,800. Now then you multiply with 49.8. How much will you get? So 27,600 minus 4,800 times 49.8. I'm getting 1,135,440. So when you get the total, you're going to get the output. So kumbuka, this one is opening work in progress. So plus 74016 plus 165,000. I'm getting 1374,456. So I'm getting 1374,456. Now in that situation, now we can prepare our processor 2. So with that information now, we can prepare process 2. So allow me to wrap this part, the current period. Let me prepare it here. Process 2. So start with the input. The upper 165,000. Then you have material pale. Now we have the first. I think we know so that we don't confuse ourselves. The first input it is this one. This one will not include it as the first input. That one would not be the first input. The first input itakuwa hii. Iko wapi? This one 306,000 before deducting this. So itakuwa 306. Then now we have for the next input, this one, the next input, this one is the opening. We call it opening work in progress. Work in progress of 165,000. So this one is open work in progress 165,000. Then input. So we have input of the upper input 306 before deducting what? Before deducting the normal loss. So 306 before deducting. Then we add open work in progress of 165,000. Then now we can add material. Material, the 134,400. Then labor 394,200. Then we have overheads Overheads ndio hii 525 600, and then we had abnormal gain. So abnormal gain is in this side. Abnormal gain, call my computer somewhere. Abnormal gain 23,616. 23,616. Then you find the total. So in this side, normal loss. This other side, normal loss. So normal loss, we computed normal loss somewhere 30,000. What else did we compute? We computed so there was no abnormal gain, abnormal loss 0, but we have closing work in progress. Closing work in progress of 145, 368. Then we have output. Output day 1374, 456. Then we balance the account. So try to balance. Then we see if it is balancing. So let's see. So 306, 165, 134, 394, 394, 394, 200, 525, 600, and then 23, 616. So mimi napata 1548. 1548, 816. So I just see the other side. 30,000, 145, 368, 1374, 456. So napata 1549, because this one, it is because of the decimal point. This decimal point. That's why we have some slight difference. So 15. So napata hapa. So supposed to be 1548. Let's assume it's 1548. 824. So but I'm getting 1549. 824. 816. So let us see the difference. So 1548, 816. So the difference of 1,000. So that's not a problem. So the difference of 1,000 is because of the decimal points. So that's how you do FIFO and the average cost method. So the difference is just 1,000, which is okay because of the decimal point. So but if you were to use the full amount the way they were, if this one, it is because of this part, this one and this one. Now but if haingekuwa na decimal point, approximately we could have got same answer, or it could have balanced. So but the difference of 1,000, that is okay for computation purposes. So that is it. That's the end of work in progress, lesson 2. So we shall meet for lesson 3. In lesson 3, it's about joint product and byproducts. So joint product and byproducts. That is it for today. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to share. You can also turn on so that whenever I upload something, you get notified. So you just turn on your bell, it's called the bell. So you turn on the bell. So that is all for today. I want to wish you well. Till we meet next time. Have a wonderful time.